everybody, welcome back. So, first of all, I forgot to hit record. And second of all, I am back to doing voiceovers. I would be really interested if you are one of the people, and I know I've got about 3 or 4 people that are pretty consistently watching me every day in Scraptember. If you like the voiceover videos or you like it when I'm just talking and doing the pages. So the difference here is that for longer videos, I kind of need to do a voiceover or else you'd have a 30-minute video. But for normal, when it takes me 15 minutes or so to do a page, I think I might go to doing the normal live style. But I'd love to know what you guys think. So the prompt for day 28 is stitching. And sometimes, I'll be honest, sometimes I do get my sewing machine out, particularly for things like December Daily. I've been known to get it out. But for this prompt, I decided to show you some faux stitching. And what's a better way to show faux stitching than with a 49th and Market collection? Pause there because I had a little cough. So I'm using the 49th and Market Spice Collection. I've used this a couple times already in the videos. And what I wanted to show is that there's a couple of different ways you can use it for faux stitching. Some of the collections, like I'm using the page kit, some of the pieces have faux stitching right on them. They're actually made with faux stitching. Others, other of the collections come with, and you're seeing there on the bottom right of the screen, actual like stitching rub-ons. And so we're going to use both some pieces from this collection that have faux stitching on them, and we're going to use the rub-ons to have some additional faux stitching. So if you're following along with Scraptember and like me, you don't really have the time always to grab your sewing machine and get it out, or heaven forbid, do hand stitching on the layout. The hand stitching, I've done like 2 or 3 pages in my career that are hand stitched, and I that's a no for me. That's just a no. I'm not gonna lie, it's just a no. Too much time, too much blood. I'm not a hand stitcher. Hopefully, some of you on this video can relate. So we are back to doing one of the page kits, and the page kits, once again, I took all the pieces out. I put them in my little dish. I've put the sample up in the upper right hand corner so you can see it, and we're just kind of building the page up together. Now, one of the things about these page kits is this particular one that I picked actually had a lot of bulk on the left hand side and then not a lot of bulk on the right hand side. So it kind of made the page weird, kind of with dimension. So I did end up changing a few of the pieces that could have been chipboard. I made them paper so that we wouldn't have as much of a bulk issue. Now I'm adding both the orange and the blue stitched pieces. These are the faux stitched pieces. And if I had just stopped there, that would have met the requirement of I have used stitching on this page. I love faux stitching. I think the fact that the 49th Market have a lot of pieces that look like they're stitched, and they look like they're stitched in a real way, a real, not not a fake way, is awesome. I just love these collections. So we are building that, and I could have stopped there. I'm going to add some rub-ons later, and we'll see that, but this is great. So now this is the bulk of the layout put together. So there was a lot of little pieces, probably 15 or 16 paper pieces that went into making that core middle section. And now what we're doing is we're adding onto it with all of the little embellishments. Now, some of these pages have had a lot more embellishments, and this one did not have as many. It just had a couple of leaves and a couple of buttons there on either side, on the left and the right hand side. So what you're going to see me do is actually pull out an additional embellishment sheet from Spice and add to this at the end. I'm going to add some more color. I'm going to add some more florals. So if you get the page kits and you get an additional embellishment pack, you can put them together and you can add more. Typically, the page kits don't need more. There's a lot on these page kits. So typically you don't need more, but this was one where I really did kind of want to add more. You're seeing, I'm not going by exactly how they have the floral clusters lined up. I'm just putting them the way they look good to me and to my eye. I'm adding the buttons. Some of the buttons are paper, some are real. And there's where I'm adding, this is a pumpkin that's not in the collection, but because this is Thanksgiving, I did want a pumpkin there. It's a butterfly that wasn't in the original, but I'm adding just some pieces here and there just to kind of make it work. And I do like that about these page kits is that you can add more or add less. Like if you didn't want all of the layers, you wouldn't have had to put them there. But this is super fun and a super easy way to do this. And I think I've said in a few of the other videos that doing these page kits has really made me more comfortable with layering pieces together, adding, stickers on top of die cuts, and then putting something under the photo and having a little something stick out of a corner. And this is just a lot of fun. I I have learned so much about making scrapbook pages from doing these page kits that has benefited all of my scrapbooking. So get one, try it. If you hate it, it's just not for you, that's fine. You haven't really been out much. They're also a really good deal financially, the page kits, because you get at least 4 pages. And I can tell you, you usually have a lot left over. You don't have paper, but you have a lot left over. So here you're seeing me kind of pull out some of the other pieces so that I can use them. Another pumpkin. I love that little kind of taupey pumpkin there tucked in. That's probably one of my favorite parts of this whole page. Love that. So now I need to add the stitching. So I've cut two of the stitching lines out. I'm going to go find my title because we have to have a title, and I'm going to use the stitching to accent my title. So the title's going to be rub-ons, and it's going to say "So Happy Together." And I've also got a little floral rub-on. And so what I'm going to show you here is how you can mix and match the rub-ons from the different collections or from the different sets. So the So Happy Together is obviously part of Spice. And I will say that the So Happy did not come off as well. I think it's just a little bit older. My Spice collection is one of the first ones I got. So this rub-on is a little bit older than some of the other ones. It did eventually come off really smooth though. And then I'm going to add the faux stitching underneath this together. And it's going to take a little bit to come off. Got to rub it down pretty good. And so I'm going to continue adding rub-ons up here at the top so that we have stitching and a floral and we have a little title cluster. I love how this turned out. I love this page. I love everything about this Spice collection. I know I've made 3 of the 4 ultimate page kits as part of this Scraptember. I'll probably use the other one sometime in October. I'll come back and do that for y'all so you can see it. But I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you've enjoyed just seeing what everyone is coming together to do as part of Scraptember. And please take some time to use these prompts and make some pages and kind of participate in using your stuff and getting your memories out there so that you have them long term. Thanks, everybody, and I've got just 2 more days.